Tasty. Back out here today at the river house. It sort of rained all morning, so we got here quite late. I am not going to try to put down any flooring today. What I'm going to try to do is get in my hose bib. I want to get all of that buried so that we're not so tight near the house. So the goal today is to get that installed. If we get it all done, I would like to backfill on the foundation some. I'm gonna crush up some rock. I'm gonna do that right here at the start so that I can provide underground water channels to keep the water from pooling against the foundation. And yeah, I mean, if we get everything done, the hope is also to knock us up a bunch of sawhorses. You can never have too many of those. And then maybe put together some bat boxes, because I found out yesterday I got a bunch of bats living in the siding on this place. I thought it was squirrels, and I was gonna take care of the problem, but it turns out to be bats. And you know, if squirrels would catch and eat mosquitoes, I'd maybe tolerate them a little more, pooping on my stuff. But bats, man, I can't have enough of those around here. So Shay and I are gonna knock up some bat boxes maybe. That's the goal. I expect to get less than half of it done. So it turns out I didn't have to crush rock. There was more than enough for my purposes that had fallen off the sides of the machine. So check, we're already ahead of the game. So what I need to do is I need to get that cleaned out enough that I can attach the bottom of the hose pipe. It needs to be at least 4 feet down and at least 4 feet in from the rocks. It's not a complicated thing to do. However, before I can start, I have to pick up the massive mess of insulation. When we were working, it must have gotten overlooked that the coverings weren't on the foam insulation, and so that one's not so bad. They just ended up right over there. This one is a mess. I got pieces up and over the hill. So I gotta go track all that down. Then I can start on what I want to do today. Okay, so we're in. That just holds it up right enough. I need to go get the level, and we'll get it leveled up, shovel another couple of feet of dirt on it, and get this thing buried. One more item off the list. Alright, next on today's agenda is to correct an oversight. There was supposed to be a conduit coming out of the corner of the house right down there. We put the pipes through the foundation for it, and coming around this corner and then just dead ending out over there. It is the conduit for the garage power, and I overlooked it. So we're going to try to dig it in with the backhoe. I'm picking the backhoe because it makes such a smaller hole. I'm a little nervous about the backhoe because the swing is far less controllable. But I feel if I'm careful, I can probably get in there and not break anything. It is unnecessarily deep again. So I got to go down about 4 feet, and I sure wish I had remembered to do it. Well, that didn't take too long. Here's the pipe right down there. Now I'm gonna thread something into it. I'm tempted to use the 3/4 inch water line, but boy, that would be a difficult thing. That would be a pretty difficult thing to pull a wire through, don't you think? Not impossible though. Just difficult. Alright, if one is too small, run two. And that's what we're going to do. See if we can cram them through there. Nice. Oh. Let's back them up to right there. Okay, so the corner is going to sweep a little bit, but there's nothing in here that can freeze. You know, it's just one's for power, and I don't know what the other one's for, but I have a spare. So I don't have to worry about going very deep. There won't be water in the garage. I mean, this is hard rock. I'd have to bring in some sort of mining trencher to get... There won't be water in it. So this is really just going to wrap around the corner and sort of stick out over there for the meantime, until I get to it. At some point it'll be trenched in through here where the backhoe is sitting, and you know, this only gets to be, well, if there's 18 inches it'll be lucky. Though we're going to put some fill on top, and it will be armor plated, so I don't see any reason why it won't work just fine. So let's get these around the corner here and get this done. Alright, we're ready for backfilling, or at least partial backfilling. You know, dry stone stacking, it's one of those art forms, and I haven't mastered it yet. This took unreasonably long. But here's my pipes coming up. Now I can backfill in here, and you know, because it's so narrow right through here, but now I can do that. Eventually it'll have to sweep along, and we got to get the bridge in here some point. But the current plan for in here is to affix LED lights, red LED lights that give a soft downward illumination. Well, Danny'd really like color changing, but I don't know where I can find quality directional color changing lights, but I do know where I can find red ones. But it'll sort of make this whole chasm in here glow with just a soft tone. And again, it'd be really nice if we could cycle colors, but at the moment I don't know where to find them. But that's what's going to happen through here. And then of course you'll enter the house right about that strong tie right there, bridge. And I'm still looking for that too. My father-in-law says there's a small steel people bridge out by the Blue Moon in Columbia Falls, the Blue Moon Bar. So he was going to make some inquiries on that to see what the status is there, but I'm just still looking for something neat. So now I'm going to bring the backhoe down the hill. I believe the dirt is dry enough to move it with the dump truck. Fingers crossed. And we'll plop some loads of dirt up in here, and then I will use the hoe, the excavator, to backfill. because I just have so much more control with it than I do with this thing. So that's what we're off to do. And I don't know if I have enough battery for a time lapse or anything, so you'll probably just get a before and after. I told you I wouldn't film anything. So this is as far as we got here. I need to straighten that up slightly, but this has been backfilled at least this far. I still need to get in and put the rest of the dirt down in there. And that's been backfilled that far. But we might have a man down. The old C60 dump truck. Obviously she's been a bit of a problem child since it got here. That 6-cylinder running and then 7. And I adjusted valves on it and got it to run okay, actually. Changed some timing. This is the one that has the number 8 cast into its manifold 3 separate places on its firing order. So it had a firing order issue, it had a valve lash issue, and it had a timing issue. And it's been running better, but on the way down the hill it started to tick. It wasn't hot, it didn't lose oil pressure, it started to tick, and then when I got right there it started to rattle, and I shut her off, and it kind of made a crunching noise as it came to a stop. So I don't know yet. I guess we'll all find out together. I'm gonna go see if it'll start. Alright. Nope, she's locked. Lovely. Okay. So the things I've noticed was that particular exhaust manifold port was smoking crazy hot. It's actually discolored compared to all the others. And it doesn't run particularly warm. In fact, that one over there, you notice it's got a nice little coating of oil and it hasn't burned off. But that thing right there, smoking crazy hot. We know it's had problems with its valves before. And this has got the industrial 350 motor with pressed in rocker studs that tend to come loose. I guess what I'm kind of hoping is that maybe a valve seat has dropped out of it. It sounds plausible. I know I didn't run it long like that at all, so if the valve seats dropped out of it, I could probably pull the heads. Serious head problems anyways. Pull the heads. I mean, it's a Chevy 350. It'd probably just be cheaper to buy brand new low compression heads somewhere and slap them on. But it's not my truck and I don't get to make its decisions, so I guess I gotta call Dad and tell him the old warhorse is down. It never lost oil pressure. It wasn't over revved. I always baby it because, you know, I can't afford to break this stuff. So as soon as she started to rattle, I killed it. Boom! I killed it dead. So you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that it'll. Let's go call Dad.
Hello.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
We just lost the motor in the C60.
Oh dear.
I think that's the one that has the problems where the heads drop the valve seats out, right?
I have no idea.
So there was nothing wrong, running normal, not revved up or anything. It started to tick, and I stepped on the clutch. It started to clatter, and I shut it off, and then it came to a stop with a crunch, and now it won't turn over. I'm wondering if it's dropped a valve or something like that.
Probably a good chance.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, did it run out of oil, you think?
No. When it started to tick, I checked the oil pressure and it had 30 psi.
Yeah.
But I mean, we've had lots of problems with the heads, right? So.
Oh yeah, we've had valves sticking. With what we thought the main problem was for like ever was a valve hanging up. Yeah, that's a possibility. Well, you know, the other thing we have is this small block 400 in the 79. Heads off of that would bolt right onto it. And there was nothing wrong with the heads on that one. At least it'd be worth taking a look at. We don't have any other use for that truck.
Definitely would probably cut through the weeds, but don't cut the dirt with it.
Well, that's what I found. The downside is one push rod. Uh-oh. It's missing its friend. So there's a push rod loose down inside the engine. I believe my dreams of popping the heads off, putting new heads on it, just evaporated. However, I also believe the motor's probably fine. It's probably fine. I mean, you know, once you fish that push rod out. Yeah, but why did it come loose? You have any idea? No?
No.
Neither do I. Thanks for watching. So we got a bit of an instantaneous update here. Pulled the intake manifold the next day, and not only was it missing a push rod on 8, it was missing a push rod on 7. More fun than that, the lifter for number 7 is missing. It's down in the block somewhere. And the lifter for number 8 has had the bottom punched out of it. If you know anything about these motors, you know that there should be no way a lifter can go down through. There should be a camshaft in the way. Yeah. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't good.